Today I am making sweet and sour Brussels sprouts, and I like to make mine almost overcooked so that they have a golden brown color to them and a little bit of a crispy edge. The reason I like to do this is because I find that Brussels sprouts can be prone to a bitter mustardy flavor that I'm personally not a fan of, so cooking them this way mitigates that. I have a large cast iron skillet here, or you can use a large frying pan, and I've added in a 1/4 cup of avocado oil, a 1/4 cup of coconut vinegar, and a 1/4 cup of honey. Alternatives for those three ingredients would be ghee, apple cider vinegar, and maple syrup, which would work just as well to make this. And I've just given those a stir, and while they heat up, I am going to cut my Brussels sprouts. I have about 1 pound here, and I find that it fits perfectly in my pan, which is about a 12-inch pan. I am cutting the larger Brussels sprouts into quarters and the smaller ones into half, and any large stems I'm going to cut off and discard. And the reason I like to cut them rather than cook them whole is because I find that it really exposes all the leaves so that they can soak up the flavors that I'm cooking these in and give them an even crispier edge that I'm really going for. And once they're all in, I'm going to add in 1.5 teaspoons of fine sea salt and give them a stir to make sure that they're really well coated in that oil, vinegar, and honey mixture. And then I'm going to spread them around. I want to make sure that at least one piece of each sprout is touching the bottom of the pan to get that golden brown color. And I'm going to let them sit for about 5 minutes without touching them while I prepare my shallot. Normally, I would put in shallots, onions, or garlic first before adding in any vegetables, but I like to add them in halfway because I really want the Brussels sprouts to be thoroughly cooked and I don't want to overcook my shallots. So once those have cooked about halfway, I'm going to add in a thinly sliced shallot. I used a large shallot, or you can use 2 small shallots. Stir that in, and I'm going to spread the Brussels sprouts around again to make sure the other side of each sprout gets that golden brown crispiness that I'm going for. And then optionally, I'm adding in 1/2 teaspoon of red pepper flakes. You can avoid that altogether or add in a whole teaspoon if you really like heat. And then I'm going to plate those Brussels sprouts while I prepare the toppings. I have a 1/4 cup of pine nuts here, and I am going to toast those up in the same frying pan. I don't mind using the same one with all of the stuff that I cooked the Brussels sprouts in because it just adds good flavor, but you can use a fresh pan if you'd prefer to. They toast quickly, so you just have to make sure you're stirring them and that they don't burn. And when they're almost done, I'm going to add in a 1/4 cup of dried cherries. I don't like to put them in the beginning because I don't want to over dry the dried cherries. I just like to give them a little warmth before I add them over the Brussels sprouts. So once those are done, I'm gonna just pour them right on top. And then optionally, if you can do a little dairy, I love to use sheep's milk cheese. And one of my go-tos is pecorino romano. I'm going to grate a little bit of that over the top. It just adds another interesting layer of flavor, and then these are good to go. I hope that you guys will enjoy.